Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Your English Teacher. Today we are going to study the first chapter of Hornbill textbook, Snapshots. The title of the chapter is The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse by William Saroyan. This is a simple short story in which the protagonist's cousin, Morad, steals a horse and attempts to teach Aram to ride it. I don't give too much of detail about the introduction and what the story is about for this chapter in particular, because this chapter, the beauty of it lies in the simplicity of its narration. So I'll take up the themes and all and the character sketches and the line-wise explanation of the text in a totally different video. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is expected out of such a beautiful chapter with such a simple title, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. So let the beauty of this horse just sink in. At times a picture speaks more than words. And you've heard of the phrase, a picture speaks 1,000 words. If we just pay a little bit attention to this, we'll understand how beautiful this horse is and who would not have loved to ride it. What do you think the chapter is about? When you look at the title, obviously it's about a horse. The kids will say it's about a white horse. It's maybe about a summer vacation, maybe some incident or anecdote. Now, whether that incident or anecdote is a funny one or is it a sad one? Whose perspective is the story from? Does it have any moral lesson? Does it really have to have a moral lesson? These are questions that should pop up in your mind when you read the title of any chapter. I would say these are some kind of questions that would revolve around the title of a chapter. Obviously, the questions would differ, but this is what pops up in my mind, or which I have heard many children say when they read the title of the chapter. So let's learn a little about the author. And the best part, I've always told my students, the best part of audiovisual aids is that you get to know who the author is, how he looks like, whether he's a male or a female, because when you read the names, they're proper nouns. We don't know them, and at times we mistake them to be either a male or a female, and one can be candid about that at this time. So let's learn a little bit more about the author. Saroyan is one of the most important American writers of the 20th century, and along with his masters such as John Updike, John Steinbeck, Tennyson Williams, and Arthur Miller, who admired him. Saroyan is perhaps the only writer to receive both the Pulitzer Prize and the Academy Award, and his work continues to appear on the theater stage and the silver screen worldwide. He gained world fame with his classic book, The Daring Young Man on the Flying Trapeze, 1934, and was born in California to Armenak and Takuhi Saroyan, Armenian refugees from the Turkish Ottoman Empire, which perpetrated the Armenian genocide. I'll be talking about this background in which the story has been set in, because that would help you understand why certain characters behave in particular manners in the story. So what are the other books he wrote? His famous books are The Human Comedy and The Daring Young Man on the Flying Trapeze. My Name is Aram, and you can maybe look up on these. I'll be talking about a few of them on my Facebook page, which I have recently launched, and maybe you can find a little bit of introduction about all this, a little peek into their works on that page. What to remember while reading the story? I usually see this is a very simple story and it's very dear to my heart. But I want children to understand you have to recall the beauty of childhood. I'm so sorry I have to say recall at this time because children, what happens as you grow, as you are especially in 11th and 12th standard, you start just wondering and bothering about only the exams, how to perform, how to get score marks. All that doesn't really help if you ask me in the long run. You need to have that passion and that innocence alive in you. I want you to remember innocence. I want you to remember your perspectives matter, children. I want you to understand what you think adults may not think about it in that manner. Children and adults think very differently. So that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, but it just means each one of us have to make a separate effort, a specific effort to bridge that gap. So let's understand what was the backdrop of the story. Again, I love the photographs. It helps me to explain the whole chapter in a much more explicit manner. Now, first of all, we have to understand what is genocide. Genocide means when a mass and a number of people are murdered together. You can say like Hitler, the concentration camps. The whole idea was to kill the Jews. So when a whole mass number of Jews are killed in one go, that's genocide. So Armenian genocide survivors, that means someone wanted the Armenians dead, the whole lot of them. So out of those, there were some survivors. And the Armenian genocide survivors are Western Armenians who were not killed in the genocide of 1915. You can see the situation here. This is Asia, European Russia, that was Eurasia earlier when Europe and Europe and Russia was combined. But here you can see Asia is here, Iran is here, near the Caspian Sea, near Turkey, and in between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, you have this place. Most of the survivors become refugees outside Turkey. So they became refugees outside Turkey over here. And the successor state, which was the successor state of the Ottoman Empire. For the timing, this is enough for you to understand because this is not a history chapter. So you can maybe just keep this in mind and then we will go on to understand this beautiful chapter which doesn't have much of mind-boggling ideas and understanding required. It's simply one of the major themes of this story is honor. The young boy Aram explains here the underlying philosophies of his large extended family, the Garuglanian family. And this family was very poor, but they had pride and morals. When his cousin Morad appeared at his window in one early morning, Aram wanted to ride the horse and Morad had come to invite him, oh, come, jump onto it and let's take a ride. So Aram somehow has to justify that how is his cousin Morad in possession of a white horse, which is next to impossible because both of them belong to that family, which was very poor. So as I'll state from the text, they said that the Garuglanians used to talk about themselves. We were poor first, we were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. So this whole chapter is going to revolve around what do children think about stealing. And I don't want you to rush into that. So I'm going to take up a separate video and take up the line-wise explanation of the text. Then there will be 2 videos that follow it, the text questions and the short answer questions, as well as the long answer questions. So the text questions are going to be dealt along with the line-wise explanation of the text. So we'll have in total 3 more videos following this. So please do subscribe to the channel, share it, like it, and visit the Facebook page as well, children, because over there I'm going to talk about maybe some connecting thought that comes to my mind when I prepare a video. It's going to be purely about literature, poetry of these very authors, and let's see how that turns out to be. So see you there. Thank you. Bye-bye, and have a good day.